Dave with MTB Discount. Today we're going to actually be doing the crank install along with the bottom bracket. So we're going to be using today a GXP Team bottom bracket with English threads. It's designed to do a 68 or 73 millimeter bottom bracket. Today our Santa Cruz Bronson carbon is actually set up for a 73 millimeter, which is nice because it alleviates the need for any spacers. The other thing we're going to be installing after that is going to be our EXO Crankset 2x10 carbon crank arms, 39-26 inch chainring combination. So along with the parts we're using, we're going to be using a couple tools. We're going to be using a torque wrench, good for up to 54 Newton meters, and a 8 millimeter hex head. And our bottom bracket tool is a Park BBT9. Just has the right notches on here to be able to groove with the fittings on the bottom bracket. So again, we've greased the threads on these. Remember, you want to grease the threads on just about everything you're going to be torquing down so you can get a proper torque reading. Drop in the drive side first and get it threads lined up. I always reverse a little bit to make sure that the threads will actually catch in seats, that you don't cross thread. And again, we'll spin this on hand tight initially, and once it's on and snug, we're going to go ahead and drop in the non-drive side, which again, they're labeled, and do the same thing. I spin it in one direction as well. Make sure that the thread's made up, and that way you have less risk of cross-threading. And again, with a little bit of grease and the fact that the threads are clean, it goes on nice and easy, no issues whatsoever with it binding or cross-threading. And then you want to take it and ideally torque it down to about 25 to 30 foot-pounds. And we're going to just kind of gauge that based on experience. You can get the sockets set up for that torque if you need to. And again, make sure they're nice and snug. But if you've got any resistance whatsoever, you know that you need to check it and make sure that there's nothing binding in there. So we're good there. Next step's going to be the crank arm. And drive side first. A little bit of grease on the axle. Push it into place. Take your washer from your bottom bracket, drop that on to make a nice little seal. Make sure that the bearings don't get damaged, and then pop on your non-drive side. Once that's snugged up, we'll start torquing down the bolt, and again, making sure that it goes in nice and smooth and we don't have any issues with it cross-threading. Just spinning this to make it a little easier on the torque wrench. Starts to snug down, and then we give it a nice little pull. And you try and keep the arm steady and let the torque wrench do the work so that you get an accurate reading. And once you get that nice little click, you know you're done. And again, that's a pretty good little chunk, 54 Newton meters, to make sure that that's not going to spin free. And from that point, you're ready to go. So next step, we'll do the rear end drivetrain, the derailleurs, all that. So catch that in our next segment.